So we have, joining Coach Richt up here on the podium, we have Hudson Mason and Marshall Morgan are the two players. And so, Coach, we'll ask you an opening statement.
Okay. Well, we came close. Guys played hard. And proud of our team and going to miss our seniors. Great guys that really poured their lives into it, as well as everyone else. But really excited to see what great things those guys will do in the future, and then everybody else that's left is going to get better. And we're looking forward to a really outstanding 2014.
Mark, could you just talk overall about the job that your quarterback did under the game conditions today?
Yeah. Well, I mean, I don't think anybody wants to go out there and slosh around and, have a bunch of rain coming down and balls slick and all that kind of thing. It makes it tougher to execute in the passing game, obviously. But I thought Hudson, as time went on and got used to the elements, did a really good job. And Hudson's a great football player, great person, great leader for our team, and got a lot of faith of in how he'll do in the future as well. But games like this are hard fought. I don't know how many plays were made down the stretch to put us in position to win the game. And I know at crunch time, from what I saw, Hudson played very well.
What are your expectations for him next year?
Well, it really starts now. He's a senior. I just told all the seniors that their watch begins now. I thank the other seniors for the job they did and told the future seniors of 2014 that their job begins right this minute, and starts with thinking of ways to get better. It starts with doing everything on an individual basis that it takes to get better, and then find ways to get your teammates to get better as well. And Hudson has always been an extremely hard worker, a guy that we all know is great on preparation. I think that's one of the biggest things that I think it's one of the fastest ways you can earn respect for your teammates is how you prepare, how you work, the knowledge of the game, the ability to know where to go with the ball, the ability to get your protections right, your run game correct. It's not an easy job to do that, and Hudson knows it extremely well. And I think our guys know that, and they've seen him make plays in big games already that they know he can get it done. So I think that the future's very bright.
Coach Chip Towers, Atlanta Journal-Constitution. Can you talk about the decision not to kick a field goal? Did you think about kicking a field goal with, I guess there's 5 minutes or so left, 4th and 2
Right.
down there, and then just kind of the play calling toward the end, a lot of runs and then a pass?
Well, two things. One, answer the first question. I really didn't think about kicking the field goal. I knew that if we made it on 4th down and we kept the drive going, we could get a touchdown, take the lead. I knew that if we didn't make it, they were backed up pretty far with plenty of time to play defense and another shot at scoring scoring a touchdown. Obviously, we could have kicked a field goal, but then you got to kick it off. You got to cover the kick. Although we've covered it very well, but you take a risk of something happening there. As far as the next drive you're talking about with the run game, when you're in 4-down territory and you got pretty good back, I think it's wise to give them the ball. So, we knew on some of those 3rd down and longs and mediums that there was going to be a 4th down, that we were going to go for it, obviously. So we knew we were in 4-down territory, which, freed us up to run the ball just a little bit. Just going back on that, I mean, it's 4th and 3 is a lot easier to manage than a 4th and 8 or 4th and 9, something like that. But we thought we might could break one too, as they're rushing the passer hard and playing some pretty good pass defense as well.
Jeff Schultz of the Atlanta Constitution. Hudson, it seemed at the beginning it took you a little while to sort of get comfortable in the game, but then maybe in the second half, and certainly in the fourth quarter, you got a little more comfortable. Is that accurate?
I felt great the whole game. First couple drives, I know we converted some big third downs, so I didn't really feel like I came out slow or anything. Wasn't perfect at all throughout the game, but I felt like we were doing great things, moving the ball down the field. We just weren't really finishing like we could have. So.
Coach Chip Towers again. You're not a sling his headset type of guy, but you're sitting there 3rd and 14 on the half-yard line, and
Right.
you get hit deep again. 13th game, young secondary.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm assuming you're pretty peeved about the way that worked out.
It's not an exciting thing to see. It's not something that I'm happy about, obviously. But when it does happen, again, my biggest thought is, okay, what's the score and what are we going to do to win? I'm not going to sit there and – I mean, the guy who struggled on that play, he knew it, there's other guys that can rush the passer hard. There's other guys that can, do their job better too. Guys make mistakes, and then when it happens back on the back end, it's monstrous, or it looks that way when you go 99 yards. It's very tough. But at that point, what are you going to do? I mean, you could fall apart and start ripping everybody up and breaking them down and watching your team fall apart on the sideline, or you can keep your composure and keep digging and keep fighting and scratching and keep putting yourself and your team in position to win. And that's what we were trying to do. That's what we did do. We had a really excellent chance of finishing the game on a high note. It just didn't happen.
Any more questions for Coach or the players?
I thought Marshall Morgan did good. Made every kick, made an extra one after a timeout. That was pretty clutch. Good job,
Appreciate it, Coach.
Just thought we'd acknowledge that he's here.
Hello, Marshall. Dean Legge, Dog Post. Mark, what about this I think was the 4th game, maybe the 5th, where a fumble on a punt return has cost y'all. I know
I don't know if it's that many, but it might be.
Yeah. Where do y'all go from there with that one?
Got to do better. Got to field it.
Hudson, Daniel Kramer, Dog Post. You had that one slide out there that looked like you were kind of sliding into home base. That said, what were your thoughts on the field's conditions today, this afternoon?
I thought they were as expected. Being in there in warm-ups, you could kind of see that the field was a little rough, and you knew rain was coming, so the mud and the divots and the things like that weren't really a surprise. They weren't great field conditions by no means, but I didn't think anybody was really slipping out there a ton. And I don't even know if we had anybody come out of a break where they slipped or anything like that. So they weren't great by no means, but I still think it wasn't an excuse for any play or anything like that.
Jeff Schultz again. Hudson, what do you think the benefit will be for you having started these 2 games going into next year?
Right. It's been a big blessing. I mean, I say that, and by no means, I'm happy that Aaron got hurt, but it's been a great opportunity to get 2 games under my belt against 2 great quality opponent teams. It's huge for going into next season. It's huge for when you talk about, do guys believe in you? For my career here, I've been kind of known as a practice player. And for guys to see me perform in 2 games, I believe that they believe in me. So it's big going into the off season, and guys believing in you and buying in and knowing that you're the leader of this team, and knowing that you're in charge. So it's huge.
Hudson, Lynch just got done saying out there he sees no reason for you not to put up the same single-season numbers next year as Aaron Murray has put up, which speaks to what you had said about belief. Could you just react to that statement?
Right. I think it's just huge for guys, the guys that you're playing with, to believe in you. And that as a quarterback, not only do you have to know what's going on in coverages and fronts and what everybody else is doing, but the most important thing is when you step in that huddle, your demeanor and your poise reflects what other guys are they're looking at you. Do we believe in this guy, the way that he talks, his command? And that's what quarterbacks want from their guys in their huddle. They want them to believe in them. And that comes with, off the field. It comes with winter workouts, off-season preparation, but it also comes with your performance. So, I've tried my best over my career here to, I haven't always been the guy, but to just know that that opportunity is going to come one day, and I always wanted to be ready for it. I wasn't going to let it slip through my hands and say shoulda, coulda, woulda. So I just continue to strive every day to get better, and, I love my teammates, and I know they love me, and we'll always be there for each other. So.
Marshall, can you address the field conditions too for planting, kicking, everything that you had to do?
Just coming into the game, I knew it was going to rain, and I saw the weather forecast, and I was just relying on Nathan and Adam. We've been pretty good all year together as a unit, and I knew if they did their jobs, I'd be confident that if they did their jobs, I'd be able to do mine. So everything went smooth, and it was wet out there, and the field wasn't as we would please, but we got it done.
Any other questions?
Coach, what was your thoughts on that hit that Rhett took in the second quarter?
Right. Is that the one there was a penalty but not a targeting? Yeah, it's hard to say. I think the targeting rule is one that's got to be revisited in a lot of ways. I think it's very difficult to teach how to hit properly. I think it's very difficult to officiate. And, I don't think the guy launched, but it was hard to tell if it was helmet to helmet and all that kind of thing. I just think it's a very difficult penalty to officiate. I think there's flaws in it, the way it's set up. I think there will be change, would be my guess. But I'm not going to sit there and say it was or it wasn't targeting. It's hard to say.
We welcome to the interview room our 2014 champions, the Nebraska Huskers. Congratulations, guys. We have head coach Bo Pelini here, and then we have Quincy Ndua and Jason Ankra. So, Coach, we'll ask you for your opening statement.
Yeah, I'm proud of these guys. These guys next to me, the senior class. I'm happy for them. Happy for this football team. We went through a lot this year, and it was a difficult year. And obviously, through the amount of injuries, the adversity, the obstacles that this team faced, and they deserved to go out the way they did, to go out with a win against a good football team, good football program. I don't want to, say that University of Georgia, they had to be proud. That was a heck of a football game. We're happy to come out on top, and in the end, hopefully this will be a nice springboard into the off season. But at the end of the day, to me, this was about our seniors, and they deserve it. I got the MVP next to me, and Quincy. That was a huge play. Obviously, the 99-yarder, and I don't know. It was like 99.9 too. So you can't make it. It can't be a long. I know one thing. There will never be a longer play in the history of college football than that one. But that was a big play for us, and the way Jason and the defense stood up time after time in the red zone and made a lot of big plays. So we're happy to come out on top.
Open it up for any questions. We'll bring a mic to you. If you can make sure you state your name, what media outlet you're from before you ask the question.
Bo, this is for you and Quincy. The Sam McEwen from the Omaha World Herald. Sorry, the 99-yard play. First of all, what is that play? And you did the exact same thing against Penn State. You're backed up on your own end. You decide to throw that ball. Bo, can you talk about the play call, which I'm sure you had some input in, and then Quincy, can you talk about what you saw and what happened on that play?
Well, when we were talking about what to do there, we saw that they put everybody up there, even more so before the timeout happened, and we kicked around a couple different ideas of what to do, whether we were just going to sneak it to try and get some room to punt it, or we had a couple different play calls in mind, and we decided to throw it. And Coach Beck, decided to take a shot. He liked the call, he liked the opportunity, and it was there. And Tommy made a great play, and Quincy not only made a great catch, but the great play after the catch. And like I said, there's not a person that I've ever coached that was more deserving of that to happen to. And so, but go ahead, Q.
I mean, it was kind of just one of those calls where you don't have too many options out there. Stuck on your own 1 yard line. So many things you can do. So luckily, our coach is trusting us as playmakers, and I knew either myself or Kenny was going to come up with a big play. They played cover 2, so I was able to get into the hole, and Tommy just launched it up to me. From then on out, I just kind of tried to make a play as best as I could.
I didn't even see the play finish because I was trying to hide because the referee bumped into me and threw the flag. So I was trying to duck into the back so that no one could see me and I could maybe escape the wrath. But that was a great play.
Hey Bo, Brian Christopherson with the Lincoln Journal-Star. You're up 1 at halftime. It's kind of similar to the last 2 bowl games, where it's about an even game at half. What was your message to your guys and the difference this time around to change the script?
I just said, what we talked about. We said, let's just go win this thing. Let's go win it. Don't go out there to worry about losing. Let's go win it. Let's go take control of this football game and go make plays. And they did. Our guys had a tremendous amount of confidence, and it goes back that they prepared well. Our guy, they had their fun, but the preparation both before Christmas and then since we've been down here was good. And when you have great preparation, you're going to execute well, and that's what it came down to.
Steve Sipple from the Lincoln Journal-Star. Coach, does this enhance your confidence in your quarterback, in your young quarterback, or did you already have a lot of confidence in him?
I have a lot of confidence in Tommy. He's from all the way back when we recruited him. One thing they said about Tommy Armstrong is he has great leadership ability and he's a winner. And he's young. Believe me, he made some mistakes out there today. There's some plays he's going to want back. But it's not easy. Other than the interception that he threw behind Kenny, he had Kenny on that on the gash play, but that they intercepted. Other than that, he played pretty well. He was proficient. A big part of a game like this is not turning the football over, and we did a good job in that area, and it ended up winning us the football game. That was the difference, and a lot of that goes back to the quarterback. He's handling the ball a lot, and with the rain the way it was and it being slick, that's not easy to do. And tremendous. And I think when he first started back before Christmas, his ankle was still bothering him, but he fought through it, and he practiced well. And when you practice well, you're going to play well. I mean, these guys will tell you. And I know Jason. I thought he played a heck of a football game today, and our guys up front, but that's the way they practice during the week. We had a lot of things, a lot of checks, a lot of check with me defenses, and without the preparation that these guys and the communication that was required to execute our game plan, it wouldn't have happened.
Mitch Sherman from ESPN.com over here. Jason and Quincy, can you guys both discuss the positive feeling that you got from being on the plus side of a couple of turnovers, like Coach mentioned, and being able to capitalize on a special teams mistake that your opponent made, just what that did for your sideline and the momentum of the game?
It felt real good just because we had a lot of situations this season with turning the ball over and sometimes putting the defense in a bad situation. But when we have situations like that, we take advantage of it. And it's not just to get off just to survive. We want to get the 3 and out and go turn over and make some points. And fortunately, we did that, and it felt real good.
Yeah, we've had a pretty rough season in the turnover category, so it was just nice to be on the other end. I was really proud of the defense, how well they played. Special teams, that was a huge play by, I think it was Josh, to go pick up that fumble. And, we were just really happy to go out there and go try to make a play from their missed play.
This question's for both players. Can you guys just talk about as seniors getting that bowl win? Because you guys obviously haven't been a part of one here since you've been at Nebraska.
Feels awesome. I mean, there's no words to describe it just because the fact the last bowl win we had was my redshirt freshman year, and I didn't even get to play in it. So us getting this win is our championship to us, and it sends us out right, but it also sends the young guys into next season full throttle. And one thing that the seniors wanted to do was send these guys. We're not selfish. We want them to succeed just like we did, and it feels real good thanks to Coach and thanks to all the coaches and the players, we finished successful, and it's all about sending these young guys into 2014 very successful.
Yeah, it's always great to kind of finish with a win, especially with all the hard work you put in, spring ball, fall camp, to end up the season with a win. It's a great feeling. There's not too many words that can describe this feeling. We just put in so much work through a tough season, and I'm just glad I can kind of relax and know that we finished it off strong.
Hey, Bo, on those fourth down stops, did they run about what you thought they were going to run there? And did it remind a little bit of your last Gator Bowl here? You also had a stand, I think, in about the same end of the end zone, or the same end of the field.
Yeah, that it was. We kind of they were throwing a lot at us formationally, and we wanted to be aggressive, and with the back, I thought they did a good job of mixing up their play calls, especially in the second half, of good mix of run and pass, even in some third down situations. It made it hard, but we wanted to get pressure and get pressure in his face and make the ball come out quick, and we did, and fortunately, our guys, whoever, I think it was Coop on the first fourth down who made the hit and got the ball out, and then on the second one, I know that was a tough catch. I think it was their tight end, but I know it wasn't an easy ball to handle. But at the end of the day, we made more plays than they did, and it was a heck of a game.
This question is for Quincy and Coach Pelini. Can you guys talk about that record that Quincy broke today, Johnny Rogers' single-season touchdown record? Kind of one of those records, I think, that stood for several years that a lot of people maybe thought would never go down.
Yeah, it's huge, man. It's just, I guess you could say, a testament to the work I put in the off season, and also just the trust the coaches had in me to give me the ball and know that I would make a play. And that's why I love these coaches. And I'm glad that they put the trust in me to go out there and get 12 touchdowns. I mean, not too many people can say they did that. And it's a great way to finish my senior season.
I've said it. It's interesting because, Kenny or Quincy, it went back to the spring last year. And he put, he's one of the hardest workers on our football team, but he had such a great spring, a great fall camp. And it's, when you put that kind of work and effort and focus into something, and it pays off. That's what's fun about. That's what's rewarding for me as a coach, and I know it for him as a player. And because of it, Quincy's going to have a great career on Sunday. There's no question. The momentum's going for it, and he's going to have a heck of an opportunity. And I know one thing, because of who he is as a man, not just because of his talent, because of who he is as a man, he's going to have great success. And whoever gets him at that next level is going to be lucky to have him.
Hey, Quincy, I wanted to ask you about Tommy and how you thought he responded today. Conditions fairly difficult, the defense fairly difficult. What did you see from him today in the huddle, etc.?
I saw a lot of growth. He was playing really well. I won't say it surprised me because he even practiced well. So, he just he practiced well, and it followed through game time. Excuse me. And I'm proud of what he did out there. He showed to be a leader. He even pulled us together and had a speech for us when we were kind of slowing down on offense. And I'm just happy to see him grow so much over the year, and I'm ready to see what he does next year.
When was that speech about? Do you remember what point that was?
Just kind of when I think it was when they had scored and it was getting closer. The score was getting closer. He just kind of picking us up, telling us, the game's not over. Let's go out here, put another score on the board, and close it out.
Bo, the way that you guys won, I wonder what kind of residual effect going into next year you feel it can have. Just some of the little things today, the fundamental things that went right, red zone efficiency. Do you feel like that kind of stuff can have a carryover effect for several months now?
I don't know if it'll ever have a carryover effect, but I think what it does is serve as an example for your football team of some of the areas that hurt us during the year that obviously enabled us to win the football game. And we talked about it before the game of we need to take care of the football, and we executed well in the red zone offensively, and defensively we stood up time after time. probably the biggest. We've been really good on third down defensively throughout the whole year, and I don't know what the numbers ended up for the game, but it felt like that was probably the biggest disappointment that I had defensively. Is we gave up some plays on third down, and I got to give them credit. They made some nice plays, had some good calls, but in the end, I thought overall our execution was really good. I was really concerned about their running game going in, and I'll tell you what, like I said, Jason and the guys up front, our front seven played really good. Their back is a grown man. He's a heck of a football player, and he not only makes plays in the running game but in the passing game. So it was a team effort to take care of him.
That was my question for Jason. Could you elaborate on that, on how important it was to control number 3 today and how you guys went about it?
Very important, just because he's a dominating back. Just like I mentioned before, they use him not just only in the run game, but in the pass game as well. And going into our game plan, we knew that having him not going north and south is going to be the success to our game. And we forced him east and west, and we had people able to rally to the football and showed up with success in the game.
Any more questions? A couple more before we let them go. Anybody else? All right.
Thanks, guys.